Bang, bop, boom. So today we're going to be talking a little bit about the microphone needs to come with me. We're going to be talking about today the power of the mind. So often we let the mind run amok on its own and do what it wants to do, and that keeps us trapped sometimes in unwholesome or unpleasant thought habits. When we break that cycle and bring attention to it and note it, then we're able to start driving our attention into thought patterns that are more pleasant for us, more joy-filled, more filled with gratitude. And it's not always about breaking off from destruction and taking yourself into this happy, happy joy land. It's just about breaking away from things that are unpleasant and destructive for us in many cases, and coming into maybe just a neutral space. So we don't have to go to the other extreme of like, oh, I'm so happy all the time because I'm choosing joy. You know, joy very much is a choice, but you could just be like, I'm okay and I'm comfortable and I'm enough right here, and I'm choosing not to hold these unpleasant thoughts. And I just want to read you a quote. Let's go ahead and get settled. So come into a seated position, whatever that looks like or feels like to you. Feel yourself rooting and grounding into this space you've created for yourself this morning. Maybe invite the eyes to close. Just bring a sense of ease and softness into the body, relaxing any contractions that you're aware of. The problem with having these unpleasant thoughts, when we notice them, sometimes we identify with them and we allow them to become our reality, and really they're not real or they're not true. So when we can investigate these thoughts and get curious about these thoughts, we get to decide what we choose to hold and what we choose to release. So this is a quote from Gandhi. Your beliefs become your thoughts. Your thoughts become your words. Your words become your actions. Your actions become your habits. Your habits become your character. And your character becomes your destiny. And so that just shows us how when we begin to hold thoughts and ruminate in spaces that don't truly reflect our way of being or what we want, they start to spiral and influence our words, our actions, our habits, our character, and eventually those things manifest. So you can make the choice to break that loop and manifest more lovely, pleasant, wonderful, serving things in your life. So just notice right now anything in particular that you're holding. Maybe bring to mind any thoughts that you've been subscribing to lately that you would like to release during today's practice. You don't have to believe it anymore. Bring one hand to your heart. Maybe craft an intention around that process of letting go, of forming new habits. Make a process of choosing wholesome over unwholesome, whatever that means to you. Make a choice not to be imprisoned by these thoughts anymore. Make a choice to introduce new beliefs and new thoughts that become new words and new actions that eventually become your destiny and your way of being. And start to cultivate breath awareness, fueling that intention with big, deep inhale and a full, complete exhale. Feeling the body expand outward, belly, ribs, and chest. And letting it go, drawing all the attention back toward the midline, right through the spinal column. Keep building the breath, staying attuned to it, noticing how it shifts the body. And become aware of where you feel the breath most present in the body. Letting that serve as your breath anchor. Your breath anchor is with you always, so it'll remind you where you are. It's a nice distraction from the thoughts, tethers you to reality. Let's take 2 big breaths together. Big inhale, fill up completely. Exhale through the mouth, nice and slowly. Drawing out that exhale a little bit longer than the inhale to ensure the cleanse. Inhale big. Exhale completely. Nice. We're going to roll over to our hands and knees from here. Using anything soft underneath the knees. If your knees are feeling tender on the surface you've chosen to practice on today. Aligning shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrists, fingers are spread, hips over knees. You can untuck the toes if you want or keep the feet flexed, totally up to you. So reaching in opposite directions, feeling strong and long across the back body. Press into that left palm, lift up and out of the arm a little bit. One more big breath. And then hand and knee back to the earth. Take that on the other side. Inhale, left arm, right leg. Keep the foot flexed. Feeling the activation into the calf and the hamstring, giving a little lift through the glutes. One more big breath. And hand and knee back to the earth. Back to the right side, right arm, left leg. Take a big inhale as you inhale, of course. Take a big breath. And as you exhale, round the back, elbow to knees, kiss. Inhale, extend and reach. Exhale, elbow to knee. Really tucking and rounding through the spine. 2 more. Inhale, extend. Exhale, round. And last one, big breath in. And a full breath out. Nice. Extend once more. Keep the leg lifted. Bring the palm to the earth and swing the left leg over to the side. Root down through the edge of the foot and sink the hips back. So you're coming into sort of half skandasana, half child's pose. Try to melt down, 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 bringing your chest down toward the earth, forehead down toward the earth. One more big breath. Beautiful. We're going to float back, keeping that leg extended. You're going to keep your left palm rooted and reach the right arm up to the sky. So use the grounding of that left foot and the lifting of the right arm to stabilize the hips, but rotate deep into the spine. Maybe you gaze up at that right thumb, because changing our gaze changes our thoughts. Changing our thoughts changes our emotions. Take one more big breath. And release the hand down. On the next breath, rise all the way up. And we're going to take a crescent shape over to the left. So reach the right arm up and over, frame the ear. Make sure I have my glasses on, so make sure if you can't see me, if you need me to adjust the camera anyway, please come on and tell me. Big breath in. Full breath out. Beautiful. We're going to rise back up to center. Bring those hands back underneath the shoulders. Swing the left leg over to the right side and look over the right shoulder. So opening up a little bit into that left side hip. Breathe, breathe, breathe. Beautiful. Send that left leg back behind you and then step it between the thumbs. All right. And then just rock back and forth, shifting into your low lunge, rocking back onto your heel for a nice hamstring stretch. Maybe you do this with the arms lifted. Maybe you do this with hands on blocks, framing that left foot. So many choices. So don't feel stuck or confined by any one thing. Maybe you play around with all the things. All right, take one more big breath. Beautiful. Hands come down to the earth. Send that left leg back behind you. Bend the knee. Really big circles into the left hip. And then come back into your stable table shape where you're rooted once again, stacking the joints. And we'll take that all on the other side. So start by extending left arm, right leg. Find the balance on the inhale. Exhale, round the spine, tucking the navel up. Inhale, reach and extend. And exhale to round and tuck. Moving with your beautiful breath. 2 more. Nice. Extend arm and leg, then release the hand down. Swing your right leg over to the right. Got to scooch you over here a little bit. Root down through the edge of the right foot. So ideally the toes are pointing toward the top of the mat or in the same direction as the top of the mat. Then send the hips back. If that's not comfortable for you, if that rotation is too taxing into your right ankle, you can rotate and come onto your right heel if that feels better. But consciously send and sink the hips back toward that left heel, feeling a big stretch into the right leg. Take another big breath. Then shift back forward. Keep the right palm rooted. Really ground down through the edge of the right foot and lift the left arm up. So that right foot is stabilizing the hips. So as you lift and open, you're rotating through the spinal column. Gazing up at the thumb, directing your attention where you want it to go. Big breath. One more breath. Very nice. Release the hand down and then rise up. Take a big breath in. Exhale, crescent over to the right side. Inviting length all through the left side body. Every breath invites a little deeper journey into the stretch. Beautiful. Come right back up. Exhale, hands back underneath the shoulders. Swing the right leg over to the left side. Root down the toes and look over the shoulder at the toes. A little stretch into the outer hip of the right side. Breathe in. Breathe out. One more breath. So nice. Extend that right leg back behind you. Step it between the thumbs and rocking back and forth. Little rocking horse here. So your choice. Hands can be rooted. Hands can be framing using blocks, or you can come all the way up. Whatever helps you find the deepest sensation in the hip and the legs. Staying true to the breath. We don't want to rush the movement so the breath feels like it needs to catch up and you start hyperventilating. You want to move nice and slowly, deliberately, using the breath to help you find more depth. Take one more big breath. All right, hands come back to frame the foot. right knee back to meet the left knee. And just move a little bit from side to side, or some cow and cat, some organic movement, servicing body with whatever it needs right now. And the more you stay embodied and present with the felt senses within, the more you get out of your head, the more you free yourself from those thought patterns. 2 more breaths. All right. Come right back into your table position. We're going to extend one leg, then the other, finding our strong plank pose. Squeeze the muscles to the bones, press back into the heels, and press the earth away. Feel the fingers spread. Take a few breaths here. One more big breath. And exhale back to downward facing dog. First, establishing that strong foundation by noticing where you're connected to the earth. And then feel where you are very purposefully lifted away from the earth. Tenting the hips. Breathe in and breathe out. Start to make a journey, feet to hands, toward the top of the mat. Come into your forward fold. Take opposite elbows, ragdoll just a little bit. I'm going to come up and check in and see who's here. Nice. Beautiful. Yeah, just let the weight of the world, the weight of your thoughts roll right out of your mind. Maybe flutter the lips. Beautiful. And then release your bind. Rise halfway. Find a nice flat back, long spine. And exhale, melt. Inhale, press into the earth. Rise all the way to standing. Reach the arms overhead. As you exhale, swan dive down. So separate the arms. Let the heart lead you in your fold. Halfway lift, flat back. Plant your hands. Step back to your high plank. Release the knees and bend the elbows, grazing the ribs on the way down to the earth. Inhale, untuck the toes, press into the palms, reach the heart up to the sky, and then back to downward facing dog. We'll go through some traditional sun salutations this morning to warm up the body, to make that beautiful connection between breath and body. Big breath in. Full breath out. Beautiful. Take a journey, feet to hands, maybe stepping or hopping this time. And rise all the way up. Grow a little taller than the last time. Soften the shoulders. Widen the arms. Exhale, dive back down. Halfway lift, flat back. Hands to the earth. Step back in a different way. Maybe if you always lead with the right, step back with the left. High to low plank. You can come all the way down or halfway. Inhale, rise. Maybe the arms start to straighten a little bit, finding more traditional cobra. Back to downward facing dog. Feeling the pull of the lower abs, the draw up toward the spine, lifting the hips when you arrive into your downward facing dog. Breathe in and breathe out. Journey, feet to hands. Rise. Exhale, melt. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hands to the earth. Step or hop back. Take your time. Take it your way. High plank to low plank. Inhale. Be playing around with upward facing dog as the thighs lift. Back to downward facing dog. Breathe in. And breathe out. I'm going to invite you now to take 2 full flows. I'm going to come up and just cheer you on a little bit. So flow with your Surya A, sun salutations, in a way that feels good to you. Don't worry about following any kind of script. Just stay present for yourself. And notice. Nice, Susie. Taking it nice and easy, Francis. Listening to your body. Nice. Beautiful jumps, Nancy. Lifting up high, Lisa. Nice. Open that heart, Kathleen. Beautiful. And to all you with your cameras off, I'm sure you are doing a flow that serves your body. And to all you in Facebook land, in YouTube land, thank you for practicing with us. Nice. Once you're done, we'll meet in downward facing dog. Nice stability, Mara. Beautiful. Once you arrive in your downward facing dog, just notice any thoughts that have arrived. We can't do anything about them until we notice them. We have to recognize the patterns and the habits. So what has come to you? Is it serving you? Is it informing you? Is it entertaining you? Is it helpful? Or is it something that you'd like to release? Is it a self-limiting thought? A self-doubting or critical thought? Judgmental in any way? Those are the ones we need to break ties from because they're not serving us. They're harming us. They're stressing out our nervous system. They're keeping us back from exploring our full potential. They're limiting our creativity. Big breath in. Full breath out. Beautiful. On the inhale, lift the right heel, three-legged dog. As you exhale, start to shift forward, stacking shoulders over wrists, and draw the knee towards your nose, a little cheetah to get the belly engaged. Inhale, right back up to three-legged dog. Exhale to cheetah once again, just letting that knee coast right in the center like there's a railroad track. Inhale, back up, hips high, leg high. Exhale, cheetah. Last one, big breath in. Full breath out, cheetah pose. Tuck it up a little higher and then step the right foot between the hands. And we're going to rise up high crescent. I don't know about you, but if anyone practiced with us on Monday, we did a lot of shoulder and a lot of eagles. And I've been feeling it in those little muscles between my shoulder blades for the past few days. Feels kind of nice. All right, so here we are rooted in our high crescent lunge. Feeling where you're grounded and present and feeling where you're lifted and confident. Reach the arms up and exhale, reach forward, long spine. Inhale, rise up. Exhale, reach forward. When we invite this kind of dynamic movement, it really calls upon our stabilizing muscles. Inhale and exhale. Last one, inhale and exhale. Beautiful. Rise back up, high crescent. Send the left heel down, open the left hip, warrior two. Feeling the openness through both hips. They both spiral open. So if you give just a little clench to your booty, you'll feel them naturally externally rotate. Big breath in. Go a little deeper. Land the gaze right across the top of that right hand. Big breath in. Full breath out. Take that left hand, right hand, flip it right up and overhead, inviting a big opening into the side body. And see if you can sink a little deeper into your lunge. Right? We always seem to draw back a little bit. We travel toward the left side, but we want to keep spreading the energy across both sides. One more big breath. Beautiful. From here, we're going to straighten the right leg, bring the right hand down to the earth, coming into a wide-legged forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, nice flat back. And exhale, fold. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. And exhale, fold. One more, halfway lift. And fold. Allow yourself to rise all the way up into that pose of victory, that pose of confidence. And turn the left toes to face the other side. Warrior two. Breathe in. Sink a little deeper. Once again, inviting the engagement into the glutes, so you rotate those hips open. Big breath in. Full breath out. Flip the left palm up and overhead. Reverse your warrior. Breathing deep into the left side hip and ribs. One more breath. And then straighten the left leg. Bring the left hand down to the earth. Go deeper into your forward fold this time. Maybe you bring the hands and support a depth by taking a bind on the feet, the ankles, the toes, bending the elbows, drawing the crown of the head more toward the earth, giving the head a little shake, the lips a little flutter. Breathe in and breathe out. Beautiful. Hands to the earth. We're going to walk over and start to rotate the right foot to the right and frame the right foot coming back into a low lunge. Keep the left palm rooted and reach the right arm up for a twist. Feel the hips sinking here. Big breath. Sink a little deeper. And we're going to turn this into a Vashisthasana side plank. So really make sure your foundation is strong. Shoulder over elbow over wrist. And then bring that right leg to stack over the left. Always the option to drop the left knee. You won't lose anything in the alignment there. Just taking a little bit of stress out of the wrist. Or you can stack the ankles. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath. Come into high plank and just notice any thoughts that arrived around plank and side plank. Right? What are the thought habits that come up every time something challenging is presented to you? Be conscious of it. You can see what you want to do with it. Big breath in. Lower down chaturanga. Inhale. Lift and open. Expand through that heart space. Welcome joy. Welcome gratitude. Back to downward facing dog. Big breath in. And full breath out. Inhale, left heel to the sky. As you exhale, slowly draw knee to nose, hovering over the wrists. Inhale, send the leg back up. Exhale, knee to nose. 2 more. You are present for and with yourself here, using the breath. Last one. Hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. And then step the left foot between the thumbs. Root down, rise up. Find your stability. There you are. Take a big breath in as the arms rise, but the shoulders soften. Big breath in, really adjusting the pelvis here, feeling the lower abs engage, lifting the rib cage up away from the hips. Big breath in. Exhale, reach forward. Inhale, up. Exhale, forward. 2 more. Nice. Last one. Beautiful. Rise all the way back up. Melt that right heel down. Warrior 2. Right? Is there anything that you want to do differently here to find more or less sensation? You know, as you listen to your body and start to become responsive to what the body needs, make those shifts. They begin with thoughts. The thoughts execute the actions. Big breath in. Go a little deeper. Begin to straighten the front leg, and we're going to hinge forwards and backwards here, preparing for triangle pose, but just waking up the muscles of the side body. Just rocking a little bit, creating some space. And the next time you reach forward, find your edge, and then begin to hinge, coming into triangle pose. Consciously stacking the right shoulder over the left. So likely you have to draw it back just a little bit. Maybe you feel the rib cage start to spin over to the right. And then change your gaze, right? Where we want the energy to flow, and it goes where our attention goes. So we change our focus, change our gaze, then our mind changes. When our mind changes, our emotions change. It changes our way of being. Take one more breath. Nice. Slowly rise up. Open up into that victorious 5-pointed star. Feeling the presence, feeling the renewal. And then turn the right toes to the right, back to warrior 2 on the side. Spinning open through the hips. Strong shoulders, strong arm, strong gaze. Begin to straighten the right leg and hinge forwards and backwards. Notice any sensations. And the next time you start to reach forward, go a little bit further, and then hinge. Trikonasana, triangle pose. Beautiful. One more breath. And rise all the way up, back to 5-pointed star. And then from here, look over to your left toes, turn them, and bring the hands to cartwheel, framing the left foot, finding your low lunge. Always the option to drop the right knee. We're going to plant the right palm, lift the left arm up to the sky. And then turn this into a side plank, or not. You're welcome to stay here if this is serving you better. Or you can start to shift left over right, squeezing the thighs together, breathing, really using those obliques that we woke up in triangle to help lift. Woo. One more breath. And high plank, going through a flow. Remember, sometimes it's just as easy as bringing a smile to your face, tricking your brain to release some of those happy hormones. As Thich Nhat Hanh says, sometimes joy is the reason for the smile, but sometimes smile is the reason for the joy. So we can begin with a smile and let everything else fall into place. Big breath in, full breath out. Look to the front of the mat. Take a little hop, bringing those feet to the edges of the pinkies in our beloved Malasana squat. If you don't find it so beloved, just notice that thought arriving to you. Sink down through the tailbone, lift up through the crown. Widen through the hips with the elbows. 2 more deep breaths. Soften the shoulders, soften the jaw. And then bring your hands to the earth, slowly lifting your hips up, up, up. And heel toe the feet so they're just behind the wrists. Let yourself hang here. Maybe another ragdoll, opposite elbows. Swing a little bit. And then we're going to slowly roll all the way up to standing. Release your bind, arms to the sky. Palms kiss right through the midline, right into your Tadasana. Just close your eyes for a moment, finding your presence in this space. Feeling the grounding through the feet, the energy through the legs, the pelvis, the hips, the spine, the front and back bodies, the arms, the shoulders. Maybe that energy invites the corners of the lips just to rise. A little smile for being here. Breathe in. And breathe out. Beautiful. We're going to shift into the left foot and start to invite the right knee up toward our chest. From here, you're going to extend the leg out. Now, you're welcome to do it without a bind, or you can do it with a toe bind, or If you have a strap handy, should have had you bring it up with you, you can take it with the toe bind or with the foot bound with the strap. So just feel the extension here. All right, pressing that heel forward, trying to lift the spine. We're not riding a horse here. Whoa! You don't need to throw off your alignment here. You can also always just lift the knee straight up and make it sort of bent. Just looking to disrupt the balance a little bit so you can come back into where in the body you're finding stability. One more breath. Then swing that leg back, warrior three. Keeping the hips level, foot is flexed, toes down, heel up. Hands at the heart or any arm variation that works to serve you. One more breath. Bring that knee back up. And then we're going to find a tree pose. So externally rotate into the right hip, stabilizing through the left hip. The right foot will dock. I'll turn to face you here. The right foot will dock onto the left leg, above or below the knee. And once you've established that firmness, invite the energy back up your body, lifting the ribs away from the pelvis. Nice and tall. Maybe the arms start to grow. Taking a few breaths here, changing the gaze if you find yourself getting stuck in a thought. Something arrives and you don't like it, look somewhere else. Consciously bring attention to the breath. The breath is always reassuring and it's always present. Nice. One more big breath. All right, from here, we're going to bring our knee back up to the chest. Send it back behind us for warrior three. And then float the hands down to the earth, standing split. Nose to knee. Maybe a bind. Maybe kicking up if you're working on your handstand practice. Take one more breath. And as you exhale, we're going to bring the right knee behind the left knee, bending both, eventually coming all the way down to a seated position, wound up like a pretzel. All right, so we're in cow face legs. Notice that thoughts arrived. This could be excruciating for you. If it's excruciating in a I don't like this shape kind of way, then just allow it to be. If it's excruciating in a ow, pain, I need hip replacement, this isn't going to work, then please get out of it. We don't want to cause any bodily injury here, but we do want to cause a little discomfort in the mind because that is what wakes us up. That's what helps us adjust our thought patterns. All right, so use your blanket or any sort of things that you have here to help make the space a little bit more intimate between your knees, or you can stack your fire logs or bring the soles of the feet together. All right, we're going to take our full cow face arms. I'm going to use a strap. If you have a t-shirt, towel, strap, any of those would do. We're going to lift the left arm, put the strap or the blue towel or whatever you're using, t-shirt, up in your left arm. Lift that left arm straight up to the sky so you can feel your prop coming right between your shoulder blades. And then bend the elbow. Bring your right arm, bending the elbow, underneath to take a bind. All right, maybe your fingers bind naturally, but it's okay if they don't. It's okay if they do. It's okay if they don't. Everything's okay. So sit up nice and tall. And if you're not feeling a lot of stretching into the hips, start to wiggle those ankles so that they come up toward the top of the mat, shins parallel to the top of the mat. Take a big breath in. And as you exhale, start to bow forward, placing a little pressure on your thighs until you reach your edge. You'll know it when you get there. Notice how the breath may have changed. Really encourage deep, strong ins and outs. Two more breaths. Beautiful. Rise back up. Release the bind. If you have a strap or a towel or something, hold it in front of you. If you don't have it, just hold your hand to remind you that you're going to get up without the use of your hands. So remember, this requires some problem solving. This is another good way to get your mind out of your head a little bit and get it on some other task. So just arrive, coming to standing some way. Yeah. And then if you want, you can hold the strap if you're going to use it for the other side, or you can release it. And once you get there, shake, rattle, and roll, whatever you need to do. All right. From here, we're going to come back up to Tadasana. So reach up, hands right through the midline, resetting. It's a new side, a new opportunity. Don't take with you any limiting thoughts, anything that was maybe deficient or healing on one side doesn't mean that that's present on the other side. So let this be a new experience. Go with the beginner's mind here. So when you're ready, shift into the right foot. Start to lift the left knee up and maybe straighten that left leg. Pulling up from the quad. Stabilizing through the hips, lifting the spine. Keep breathing. One more breath. And float that left leg behind you, coming into your warrior three. Strong and stable. Steady with the gaze. Easy to breathe. Nice. And then start to draw the left knee back up to your chest. Preparing for a tree pose. Open up through that hip and root the foot on your leg. So above or below the knee, feeling that intimate connection, pressing one into the other, letting that inspire the energy to lift up through the hips, through the spine. Maybe the arms rise. Maybe you do something different. You move your arms a little bit, change your gaze. Think positive thoughts. Fill up with your intention. You get to choose where your mind rests here. Big breath. Very nice. Bring the left knee up towards your chest. Send it back all the way. And then hands to the earth or to your blocks for your standing split. And again, remember how habitual thoughts will arrive, and if they're not serving you or if they're unpleasant and you keep hosting them, they will keep arriving. Right? Energy grows where we give attention. What fires wires, or we're creating these pathways in our brain that are habits, and we get ourselves stuck. Start to bend the knees, draw the left knee behind the right knee, come all the way down. You can change the architecture of your brain by choosing to change your thought patterns day in and day out. That's the bottom line. All right, so make your adjustments here. Maybe first adjusting mentally, getting rid of the I hate Gomukhasana sentiment, and embracing the this is okay. This is good for me. I got this. All right. Make it challenging, but not painful. And then if you want to use the strap, bring it into your right hand. Lift that right arm to the sky, right where the blades, or the blades, the strap comes right between the shoulder blades, and then the left hand will come up from underneath. And if you can make the full bind, go for it. But I like to use the strap. Sit up nice and tall. Really feel the expansion through the upper chest. And as you exhale, hinge forward, taking yourself right to your edge, and then maybe dipping a toe over the edge, using the breath to find more space. One more big breath. And slowly start to come up. Lucky you, we don't have to stand up again. So we're going to uncross the legs from here and step the feet out wide. letting the knees tick-tock. You can also kick if that feels good. All right, so when the knees are tick-tocking, once they reach the right side the next time, we're going to come into that pinwheel shape and invite a twist. So sit up nice and tall. Let me face you here. Sit up nice and tall. Bring that left hand to the right knee and look over the right shoulder. So try to keep at least one sit bone is rooted. Try to draw the tailbone down. Sit up tall on the inhale, twist on the exhale. One more breath. Come into center. We're going to take a little crescent over here. So you can keep that left or right hand. What hand is this? Your left hand on your right knee. Right arm reaches up and over. You can also bring that right hand behind your head, supporting your spine. Remembering to sit up tall. It gets really deep into the rib cage. And come back up to center. We're going to take a little pinwheel pigeon here. So start to turn over that right knee and just start to hinge at the hips, melting all the way down. Bringing your forehead to the earth or stacking your palms or fists to bridge the gap. Surrendering for 3 more breaths. Soften the shoulders, relax the jaw. And then come on up. Back to tick-tocking, windshield wipering the knees back and forth. You guys are awesome. Hope you're feeling good. Hope you're feeling free. Let the knees drift off to the left side. We'll start with our twist. So sit up nice and tall. And then rotate over to the left, gazing over the left shoulder. And anytime I invite you to gaze in a certain place, just helping you to go a little bit deeper, but you may choose to have your eyes closed, and that's really as deep as you can go. Inviting the internal gaze, being present for yourself fully, completely, without distraction. Relax that right shoulder. One more big breath. Beautiful. Keep the right hand where it is. Lift the left arm up. Crescent over to the left. That right hand can press down on the knee even so it's not floating up. Maybe the hand behind the head. And we'll come back up to center. Floating down into a pinwheel pigeon. Bringing your chest toward the fleshy inner thigh. Start to melt, melt, melt. Surrender, soften. Still being very present for the breath and how it's servicing the body. And aware of the thoughts, what has been coming and going. Your thoughts, just like the feelings, are impermanent. We make them imprints by choosing to loop and ruminate. That is very much a choice. Two more big, luscious breaths into the body. All right. Come on up. Once again, maybe tick-tock those knees. Shake and kick, whatever feels good to you. Before arriving onto your back, hugging the knees in, up Anasana, a little wind-releasing pose. If you ever have any GI distress, this is a good one to help you let some things go, if you know what I mean. We all do it. We can talk about it. It's a really nice massage for the back too. Maybe you take the edges of the feet, turn it into a laughing happy baby. Maybe you straighten the legs, toe bind, turn it into a hamstring stretch. All right, and then bring those legs together. Slowly release the heels down to the earth. Take a full body stretch while you're here. So press your heels away, reach the arms up to the sky. Feel yourself taking up some space. Maybe feel the sacrum rooting down and the arch of the back lifting, feeling expansion in the rib cage. That's a really nice stretch for the back. One more big breath. Reach, extend. And then soften the back. Keep the arms where they are or draw them a little closer to your side. Totally up to you, your choice. This is a time to rest. And if there's anything else you wanted to do in your practice before your rest, go for it. Otherwise, take this time not to have to do anything else or be anywhere else or be anything else. Just take this time to be exactly who you are, where you are right now. Take a big breath in and exhale deep into your Shavasana. Another reminder from Gandhi: your beliefs become thoughts, your thoughts become words, your words become your actions become your habits become your character, and your character becomes your destiny. So, what would you like to manifest? What are you believing? And what are you thinking? And how is that serving you? Start to invite an awakening to the body, deepening the breath and moving in any way that feels just right to you. Inviting a stretch. Maybe rolling over to one side. Slowly making your way back up to a comfortable seated position. Pressing the palms together in front of the heart or hands on the heart. Feeling a connection to your intention once again. Thank you so much for practicing with us today. The love and the light in me truly honors the love and the light that shines brightly in each of you. Namaste. So thank you for namasteing flexible with our change of time. 8:30 is our new time on Mondays and Wednesdays. You're welcome to practice with us anytime you can. And know that if you are unable to practice with us, the classes